In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at these current conditions. We're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern as well as a little bit of tropical activity and some upcoming severe weather. Let's just get straight into things though, and first things first, we're taking a look at our current radar imagery, and as you can see, we have a whole lot going on here for the southeastern United States. I have no idea why that's blue, so let me switch that real quick. Here we go. We have a lot of activity going on here in the southeastern United States as well as across the northwest and north central United States here, and even some activity here in the Four Corner states still going on as well. Let's just zoom into some of these different regions and then just go over it. We can see here in the northwest that we do have some showery activity nearby Washington and Oregon. So this is around at this point. We can also see for the northern Rockies, there is some showers around in here as well. A little bit more persistent there in northern Montana at this point. As we move further down to the Four Corner states, we can see there is a few pockets of some sprinkles going on at this point throughout mostly Arizona and New Mexico and potentially Utah as well. We see some of that going on. Now, as we move further north and further east, we can see that there is some thunderstorm activity going on at this point for states like North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan there. Even we're going to see some move down from Canada here, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We can see some moving across the lake there. But mostly it's this North Dakota and northern Minnesota area we're concerned about because we have seen persistent severe thunderstorm warnings coming in with that one. So this needs to be really, really watched at this point. I also think that these ones down here in southern Minnesota and Iowa look really bad as well, that are flaring up right now as we speak. So those need to be watched as well. Now, as we move down to the Gulf, we can see that there is a lot of activity down here, more than what we've been seeing, especially in this pocket in here. And this is kind of where we expect a tropical system to kind of potentially develop as all of this activity moves down into this region. And then it looks like it could come back up, according to the European model, and strike Texas. But we need to watch this closely. This area has to kind of become organized, and that looks to be at least possible at this point. So we will go ahead and look at that in a minute. Now, as we look towards the southeast, we can see that there is just a lot of activity around for these areas. It's kind of associated with this storminess. It's moving up like this, up the coast. We can see some of this activity moving across just like this as well. So we're seeing quite a bit of activity for a lot of different regions. All the way from Florida, where we're seeing these isolated tropical thunderstorms, all the way up to Virginia and North Carolina, where we're seeing these showers, maybe thunderstorms, but mostly just showers. It looks like they're in those lighter greens and even into a little bit of yellows around for that area. Now that should do it. Let's just take a final look. I think that's all. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to take a look at the upcoming pattern, the tropical activity, and that severe weather. Now here we are taking a look at the upcoming pattern. This is by this afternoon. We can see there will be some storminess still around for the southeast, obviously. We're going to want to watch this area as well for that tropical development. Let's keep going with this towards tomorrow afternoon. And we can see this activity sticks around here in the Gulf. And again, we're watching for it to kind of do a little curvature like this. We can see that the southeast overall still has some storminess around, as well as the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes here by about 2 p.m. on Monday, July 11th. I can't believe we're that far into July already. By the time we reach about Tuesday, 3 days from now, July 12th or 2 days from now or whatever, we can see the eastern United States is still dealing with a lot of this storminess around. We can see this extension here as well of some storminess. This is moving along the jet stream like this, just about like that. We see this really hanging out and developing a little bit here. Let's see if it develops overnight that day. Yeah, this is when things start to get really interesting. By Wednesday, July 13th, we could see something more developed than what we typically see is around for that area. We still see the southeast seeing some activity, as well as up here. For the northeast, we're seeing some of that, but the west is very, very quiet at this point. Now, by Thursday afternoon, we see this activity has moved further and further west there. We see that there's still some scattered activity along the eastern United States, but not quite as much. And by Friday afternoon, we can see there's definitely a tropical cyclone of some sort there on July 15th, Friday, so about 5 days from now, between Louisiana and Texas. And as we extend on with this, look at that. By Saturday morning, July 16th, we can see that this is definitely a developed low, and it's heading towards Texas. Now, the amount of precipitation that comes with this is actually going to be quite a bit. So we see it hits Texas. This is by Sunday, July 17th afternoon. And then Monday, July 18th afternoon, it's over central Texas, still dropping quite a bit of precipitation there over the middle of Texas. We see there's still some activity along the eastern United States as well, and the upper Midwest. We're seeing some of that activity also. Then by Tuesday afternoon, July 19th, this is our last frame, but we see this kind of fizzle out up here in Texas. And then we see a lot of activity still around for the eastern United States, but none really going on here for the western United States. So things get really quiet for this entire region here, kind of like this actually. Things get very quiet, and then we see a lot of activity along the eastern United States throughout that model run. Now, as far as total precipitation here, if you're anywhere in the whites, we're taking a look at practically no precipitation. Your grays will be about 1/10 of an inch or less of precipitation. Your greens will be 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Your blues will be 1/2 an inch to an inch. Your yellows will be 1 inch to 2 inches. Your reds will be 2 to 5 inches. And then your browns will be 5 to 10 inches, which we see some of that in Louisiana and Texas from that tropical cyclone that this model shows. The blues will be 10 to 15 inches of precipitation, and we see some of that there for the Louisiana coast and where that tropical cyclone was over the Gulf. And we even see some magentas and pinks, which is indicating 15 to 20 inches of precipitation over the next 10 days, which is about 1.5 to 2 inches per day on average over a 10-day period, which is extreme amounts of rainfall. So if this expands and we start to see more of those types of precipitation amounts over land, that would be rather concerning, obviously, at this point. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at the upcoming temperature pattern as well as that tropical cyclone potential, and then we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center to close things out. Now, here we are taking a look at the upcoming temperature pattern. This is by this afternoon. We can see cooler temperatures around for the eastern United States as well as the northwestern United States, with warmth kind of underneath and in between here. That's mostly what we're seeing at this point. Then by the time we reach Monday, July 12th, we can see mostly warmth throughout these regions with cooler conditions around and surrounding that area. Tuesday afternoon, July 12th, we see things warming up here for the east overall. We also see some warmer temperatures still around there for the west. Now, by Wednesday, July 13th, we can see that these warm conditions are still around here for the west, and it looks like they might be trying to spread eastward, so we're going to watch that closely. We do see some cold infiltrating here on the western seaboard. This sometimes means that's coming to an end, but we'll have to wait and see. By Thursday, we see this expanding, but it's still around for the west. And there is some warmer temperatures over the east, so it's mostly warmer for everywhere. Kind of a crazy pattern we find ourselves in here. Friday, I would say the heat is centered over the eastern, or the better yet, central United States at this point. We do see some cooler temperatures there for the southeast and the northeast, with warmth still in between. It's a very hard to differentiate pattern for the, it really is. We see the northeast get a lot of this heat at this point. Still, the southeast holding on to some of that cooler air though. And that's by Saturday, July 16th. We see really a lot of above normal temperatures here from west to east. Everywhere is really seeing some of it. Sunday, July 17th, I think the heat is somewhat moving eastward, and we see some cooler air there for the northwest. By Friday, or better yet, Monday, July 18th, it looks like it mostly is centered over the east, I would say. And then by Tuesday, it's definitely mostly centered over the east and the central United States, but there's still blues scattered about all over the place. Very, very messy pattern and very hard to differentiate. If there's a trough in the east, trough in the west, and this is fairly typical for the summertime actually. And we probably won't get into a clear trough and ridge pattern until at least September, I would say. Now what we're going to do is take a look here at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook real quickly. Now here we are taking a look at this, and as you can see, we have a 20% chance of tropical development over the Gulf there at this point. This could go up over time. We do have a 0% chance over the next 48 hours, so it is expected that it would be after the next 2 days, so like the 13th through the 15th time frame, which is what we saw from the model as well, the European model. So this definitely needs to be watched. A homegrown tropical system could definitely develop, and the European model has it developing at this point. We're going to have to watch this daily and just see if we see these potentials increase or decrease over time. Only time we'll really be able to tell. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on and finally take a look at that Storm Prediction Center. Now for the day 1 categorical outlook here, this is for Sunday, July 10th or today. We can see that we have a general thunderstorm risk there in the lighter greens. So all of these areas is where we have general thunderstorms expected, but anything is possible, so still heed every watch, warning, and advisory. We have 3 darker green regions in there as well, which is our marginal risk areas where we expect isolated severe weather to occur potentially. And then the 2 yellow regions up there for the north central United States is where we have a slight risk at severe weather, and that's where we expect scattered severe weather to take place today. Now for day 2, Monday, July 11th there, we can see that we have another general thunderstorm risk there in lighter greens, extending from the Four Corner states all the way up through the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and interior northeastern United States there. We also have a marginal risk in there in that darker green region where we have isolated severe weather expected. And then for that yellow region, again for Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, that's where we have a slight risk at severe weather, and we expect scattered severe weather there on Monday, July 11th, 7-11 day, don't forget. Now, as we move towards day 3, which is going to be Tuesday, July 12th, we can see there's 3 general thunderstorm risk areas, one there for Oregon and California, kind of odd there, one there for the Four Corner states and surrounding areas, and then one there for the eastern United States. This is all the areas where we expect general thunderstorms, but again, everything is possible, so heed every watch, warning, and advisory. The northeastern United States does have a marginal risk at severe weather up there for the darker green, where we expect isolated severe weather to occur. And then we even have a slight risk up there in the yellow region where we expect scattered severe weather to occur. So keep all of these things in mind for Tuesday, July 12th. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're remaining at a 4 out of 6, only because we still need to see what's going to happen with this tropical system. I think that's mostly what our confidence tab is going to be based on over the coming days, but it's a big mystery. We have some things pointing towards development and some things pointing towards a lower chance of that happening. So maybe over the coming days, our confidence will come up as we know more of what to expect from that system. For today's patron, highlighted today, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Layla Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudeleza, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Khaleesi also. I'd also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.